Dodge, Yahoo, Phantom of the Forest, you Spear, Finger, Fire Dragon, Ohio Grassman, Silver Giant, Bloodless Howler, West Virginia Vampire, Coyote King, Hogzilla, Devil, Dark Coyote Killer. Cave creature, Mothman, Smoke Wolf, Lizard, Demon, Ashman, Grafton Monster, Cow-killing Bastard, Shadow Creature, Dustman, Cherokee, Death Cat, Wild Man, Great Fire Rape, what else do I have to say? Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber, catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet. Snallygaster, Rogue Team, Red Island Bear Beast, Silver Giant, Squalling Savage, Black Wolf was kind of average, Stone Giant, Raven, Mocker, Midnight, Whistler, Wampus Beast, Wawa Woman, Ohio Grassman again. Technically, Huckleberry, Wolfman, or Wolf County need to find the X again if we hunt the Lightning Man. Webster's Werewolf, Daily Howl, Kentucky Hellhound, Little Girl, Headless Horror, I can't take it anymore. Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber, catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet.
This here's Bigfeets, the only Mountain Monsters watch-along podcast that Huckleberry once called blatant Bigfoot woke scolding. I'm Robert Brockway, and I'm coming back to get my due-venge, to get my vengeaplicity. There's got to be a better way to put that.
And I'm Sean Baby, representing the art of pit fighting. I'm a striker, a puncher, a head hunter, and a face hunter, representing the great state of karate. We came to win.
And I am award-winning author and essayist Jason Pargin.
And welcome back to our first ever continuation of an episode of Mountain Monsters. If you would have told me when we started this show that we would have to do a previously on, I never would have believed you. There could never be a continuing story. But yeah, we say it all the time, listen to the beginning. Start from the beginning, come with us on this journey, because what's amazing about Mountain Monsters is the way that it builds. But seriously, this time, there is a part 1 to this episode. We are continuing on. You have to listen to the last episode before listening to this one. Before we get to that, Sean, anything you want to plug?
The website 1900hotdog.com. It's a comedy website with an all-star cast of hilarious writers. It's the last of its kind. Enjoy it, because when we die, it's all gone.
Perfect. Elegant, succinct. I'm going to plug our other podcast, me and Sean's other podcast, which Jason's on plenty, called the Dog Zone 9000. We just do whatever the fuck we want on that one. That's our free one. And the one that we're about to record, we've recorded part 1. We're going to do a 2-part podcast on the Dog Zone. And we just recorded part 1 about an episode of a show called Manimal. It's a 1983 show about a quote-unquote handsome playboy who can shapeshift into any animal, but really just 3 animals. And in this episode, this specific episode we cover, he finds a feral girl that's been raised by wolves, and she's been brought to society, and they determined that actually a hitman is trying to kill her, and it's about solving the mystery of like her uncle or her business partner or whatever has put a hit out on her because he was the one that killed her parents and the reason she got stranded and raised by wolves in the first place. And it was written by these 2 guys. I think it's Douglas Schwartz and Michael Beck. They went on to write another show called The Wizard, and that's about a little person toy genius who makes battle toys for the government. And they wrote an episode in that show where he finds a feral girl who's been raised by wolves, and a hitman's out to kill her because the partner of the business killed her parents, making her the reason she's raised by the wolves in the first place. And then they did another show called Thunder in Paradise with Hulk Hogan and his talking sentient speedboat partner. And in an episode of that, Hulk Hogan and his talking speedboat find a girl raised by wolves, and a hitman's out to kill him because the evil partner of her parents' business is the reason that...
Surely that's the end of it.
And surely no, it's not. They did another show called Sheena, about a woman who was raised wild in the jungle. And in the show Sheena, which is already about that thing I said, there is an episode called The Feral King about a boy who was raised by wolves because his evil uncle put a hit out. They just kept making this show for well over a decade. They made Double Tarzan over and over again, sometimes word for over a decade. We're watching all of the episodes to see how the story changes when the only part that you have to slot in and out is the main character, who is either a shape-shifting playboy, a little person battle toy genius for the government, or Hulk Hogan and a sentient speedboat.
To be fair, you hand me any script and say the main character is now Hulk Hogan in a superboat, I'm like, give me 2 hours. No, 90 minutes, I'll have this done. Easy.
Anyway, that's the kind of shit we do. It's lots of fun. We're going to do the second part of that. Both of those should be up by the time we record this. Go check out Dog Zone 9000. Jason?
God, TV used to be so good.
Yeah, it really was.
When we were kids, TV used to be so good. I'm on here only to promote my upcoming book called I'm Starting to Worry About This Black Box of Doom. It is up for pre-order wherever you get books in every format, including audio. Even if you hate reading, it's just like a big podcast, only it's a story. You can pre-order it now. It helps me a lot if you pre-order it now rather than wait, because if you wait, you will forget and you won't buy it at all. But wherever you buy books, your local bookstore, Barnes & Noble, Amazon.
The written word will die if you don't do it. We've decided this is the last book that's coming out, and if it doesn't do well, they're done. We're not doing anymore. So keep literature alive. Buy his book. So, as I said up top, we're a Mountain Monsters Watch-Along podcast. It's a reality show, real hard quotes on that one, about Bigfoot and other monster hunters going out into the woods, finding these paranormal beings and trying to bring evidence of them back home or murder them. Just fucking shoot them in the face. Our cast is Trapper, he's the leader. Huckleberry is security. Buck is... or should I say was, Husky Ninja. He's dead. Bigfoot killed him. Jeff is our hillbilly piss scientist. I'm sorry, research scientist. Willie is our trapper, by which I mean he owns a van. And Wild Bill is the soul of our group. If this was a Planeteers, he'd be Heart. We're watching Mountain Monsters Season 1, Episode 20, Grassman Revengeance. This is Part 2. It's a double-length episode, both in terms of our show and the show. It's an hour-and-a-half long episode. It's the finale of Season 1 on the HBO Max order, which is what we watch, and Season 2 everywhere else. So it's a big deal. It's where everything changes. Yeah,
it acts as basically a soft reboot of the show, because from here on out, it's pretty much full-time Bigfoot hunting. And again, this is the universe where there are many types of Bigfeet. But up to now, they were having to think up a new monster every week. They struggled mightily to do that. They hunted the Wampus Beast 3 or 4 times under different names.
They hunted the alien from Alien.
Yeah, the alien from Aliens, the monster from The Descent. They ran out of creatures very quickly, but it was with this episode, a lot of the stuff they're going to start to do. Because I know when we said in the last episode where this is where the first season or 2 seasons, depending on how you break it up, they were finding the show, and this is where they find the show, where they expanded into like rivalries with other groups of armed men and a running mythology and all of this stuff. Here's where they started to just become so brazen with how they were faking it that it goes outside the bounds what any like ghost hunting show or whatever we do. This is the first time I think they feel like they nailed the format, and when they would come back to film the next season, it's like, okay, this is now what we are doing.
This is their Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah, he has found the hockey mask and put it on. Yeah.
Before you start thinking, oh, that's going to be boring, we're going to miss out on all those cool monsters if it's just Bigfoot. It's, their Bigfoot this ain't your grandpa's Bigfoot. Like, they got Bigfoots with psychic powers, they got Bigfoots with lightning powers. There's Bigfoot for every occasion. There's a million subspecies of Bigfeet, and they're going to fight or fuck them all. So stick with it. It's the right move. You'll see it's the right move.
And if you somehow are listening to this and you're like, well, I don't watch this show or I don't have Max, guess what? Most of the listeners to this podcast do not watch Mountain Monsters. They enjoy listening to us describe it because it's actually mind-boggling to try to imagine what this show is. To the point that some people still to this day think that we have invented it and that there is no real show called Mountain Monsters.
And they think every time we say that we're just doubling down because that would be funny. And I don't know why they'd think that aside from the many lies and betrayals that I've built into our podcast over the years.
That's true.
So this is the first time we've ever had to do a part 2. So a day I thought would never come. A lot of our usual format won't apply here. So let's do a last time on Mountain Monsters. The Ohio Grassman's back, and this time he's home invading Legman. Driven mad by the lackluster nut crop, he has to be stopped, and only one team has most of a weekend off to stop him. The Ames crew. Them moonshiners are Bigfoot apologists. This here's Uncle Leroy's party van. Huh. Oh my God, Bigfoot's got a gun. Get down. Get down again. I pissed myself. I think Buck's dead. We're gonna have ourselves a Revengeance. And now, the continuation of Mountain Monsters.
Very nice.
Yeah, I feel like you might have substituted what you wanted to happen in that episode.
No,
I
I'm
think
pretty
it's close
sure.
enough.
I'm pretty sure that's how it went. I mean,
That's how I
that
remember
exists
it.
mostly in a fugue state where I insert the fantasy world that I enjoy more than the world around me. But I think I got it this time. So, okay. Trapper, this is 3 days later.
At this point in my notes, I just wrote, holy shit, this rules. And I'll let you continue, but that's just what I wrote about this whole part of the show.
It fucking kicks ass. It's the perfect... you have to pivot after this. Everything has to change after this. So we do a 3 days later, after we left off when Bigfoot had utterly humiliated everybody in this group, gave Buck a concussion and a Hugh Grant meet cute, and Trapper has just left the hospital. Buck, his shoulder's all messed up. He has that concussion. They're down a member of the team. Buck isn't coming back. The vital Husky Ninja role is now empty. I think Jeff is going to have to fill both roles, and that's a shame because he's covered in piss.
Ridiculous.
And Trapper, this opens Trapper alone in his truck, having claimed he just left the hospital. He does an acting scene where he cries.
He
Yes.
cries.
He
That's
makes
pretty
himself
good.
cry over, like, Jesus. Now, do you guys think that
a
Buck,
very minor door bonk injury.
in the real world, because Buck's not going to turn up in this episode, so do you think he was hurt, or do you think he just had to go back to work?
I think he had to go back to work.
Yeah, back to work.
He's established in the past he has missed episodes or parts of episodes just because he doesn't get the day off because this is not a full-time job. I think he's a security guard at a mall or something. I think that when they came out here, they were originally going to do their normal weekend thing, which is why we have a mostly normal first half of this double episode. And then at some point, I don't know if they found more people.
He does mocap for Kirby. Sorry to interrupt.
All right. I think they came out here and they had this pivot. I don't know if they found the moonshiners or they just had a good story idea, but they're like, all right, we're going to stay out here for 2 more days. And Buck was like, yeah, some of us have fucking grown-up jobs. I'm not going to do that. Tell you what, Bigfoot opened a door onto me and I got a Bigfoot concussion. So I'm in the hospital, whatever. Like, he's not going to be here for the rest of the episode. That's what I think happened anyway. Either that or he just tripped really hard on that chair and fucked himself up.
I would. It might be more likely than Bigfoot, an invisible Bigfoot, gently bonking him with a door. Probably.
I think Trappers, a lot of them are terrible actors. The more scripted the scene, the worse they are. Just like every single one of us. But Trapper, I've always thought, was actually a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
He's maybe the only one.
He's pulling from a really vulnerable place here. Like, I don't think you would tear up if someone like gently got, knocked to the floor by a door. But like
Bigfoot bonked.
Yeah, he got Bigfoot bonked. But he's really like teary eyed about it from taking the one middle school football tackle. He's
yeah, he's really adding that extra humanity to this. So Trapper is going to go check on the trap, and he optimistically says, I think Bigfoot might already be in that van.
He fucking jinxed it there. Like the second he said that out loud, I'm like, oh, Trapper.
So the party van, Uncle Leroy's precious party van, has been destroyed. It is on its side with the roof ripped out, and this is like the most prop work they have ever done.
Great.
It looks awesome.
It is the exact same prop work they would have done if this scene had been in the X-Files. Like the way the top of it is bashed out, they tip the whole thing over. They put work into this. Full credit. Not being sarcastic here at all. It looks really good.
Yeah, it looked like a Bigfoot exploded out the top of this van and toppled it over. It's the first time I can say that's ever happened in this show.
I like how Wild Bill, when they bring him over to it, he says, I have no idea how I'm going to explain this to Uncle Leroy. Because again, they stole this van without telling Uncle Leroy. And now he's like, how am I going to explain? But like, come on. Like Uncle Leroy isn't going to immediately recognize a Bigfoot hole. Dumbass. He's going to say...
Wild Bill, I gotta say, just like Trapper's performance, I believe Wild Bill's worry and devastation here. I think this is where he was going to retire. This is like his Shangri-La, this party van.
To call back to the last episode, I realize now in retrospect that a lot of listeners are expecting a twist where it turns out that Uncle Leroy is the Grassman, because the whole seeds they kept planting with, well, where is he? Why is he missing? I don't know why he's not home. He's not answering the door. You know, and then now there's suddenly this Grassman wandering around. Like, I realize that in a normal piece of fiction, it would turn out he transformed into the Grassman. No, they're actually not going to mention Uncle Leroy after this. So all of that was just leading up to
Bigfoot.
Absolutely nothing.
So Trapper is still, for some reason, making the acting choice to be all teary-eyed. So he's trying to describe, like, the power of this monster breaking out of the van. So he's like, it looks like it's been a 70-car pileup. He's so much stronger, so much more aggressive than I thought he was. Like he's still like got this vulnerable passion.
Like he dropped the ball. Like he screwed up by not recognizing the power of this creature.
The Bigfoot broke his heart. He's a man betrayed. The world, our God, has turned their backs on Trapper. It's not the world he knew. The Bigfoot he was promised. And what now? If he doesn't have this, what does he have?
Trapper he's truly a broken man. Like, it seems like he doesn't want to go after the Grassman anymore. He's too worried about his troops. He leaves the decision to them, and he says, Huckleberry says, well, I am a man, so I'm going to go after this Bigfoot.
Suspicious. Suspicious.
So
he's a Bigfoot.
It's a little the Huck doth protest too much. The Squatch, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So they all rally up. They're all still in this. They're going to do it for Buck. He says, Jeff, you got to go talk to more people. I assume better people than Legman and Handlebar Patrick.
God,
I assume they're not. They didn't get the job done. Willie?
No, hold on. This is the moment Jeff has been training for, because he says, "I'll get right on it." Like, his courage has been renewed. He's going to get on his Telegram and his Truth Social. He shall uncover this monster's forbidden secrets. Oh, it's Jeff's time to shine.
That up with, I'm even mostly dry. So Trapper's not done rallying the troops. He looks at Willie and says, Willie, you need to put your thinking cap back on. Like, you need to come up with something better than a van. Then we're not kidnapping a schoolgirl here. This is a ginger Bigfoot. You need to get serious. So Willie's got to come up with something real. Another, like I said, our format is out the window. There's no truck briefing. We're a direct continuation. We're 3 days later. We're going to visit our first witness. It's Eric. He's a hunter. He's in a plain green beanie, a somber, reflective hat choice for this.
Mm-hmm. Bit of camo trim.
Yeah, it's very respectful. You would wear it to a funeral of not a beloved dog, but an okay, well-liked dog.
Now, I realize the listeners are already confused because it's like, why did they make Jeff go get more witnesses? What do they need to learn about the Grassman that they don't already know? They successfully trapped him. Their trap just wasn't strong enough to hold him. They just need a reinforced version of that. Like, they know everything there is to know. They know where his nest is. They know where it travels. They found the exact right spot. So what would a witness possibly have to tell them? We'll see.
Yeah, if they got a van roof expert, that's probably who they need to talk to. Can you Bigfoot proof a van roof? That's the only question you'd ask. So Eric heard a Grassman yelling outside his house. He has a recording. And at this point, I know what you're thinking. It's what we would normally say. This thing just killed Buck. Why do you need to listen to it yell? Like,
You have all the evidence you need at this point. We can't go back to the start like this, but they play it, and Yahoo! It's the fucking Yahoo.
That can't be.
It's the Yahoo.
That can't be.
It's the Yahoo, another Bigfoot, a different subtype. Like we said, there are different subtypes of Bigfoot from another earlier episode. This time, this is like a hillbilly Confederate soldier Bigfoot. That's a very racial Bigfoot. It's a very controversial choice to put him in this episode. But they determined that's absolutely him. There's no mistaking it. So, finally, in 20 episodes of this show where thousands of monsters share the same zip code, finally, more than 2 monsters are here at the same time. They debate, did the Yahoo migrate from West Virginia to Ohio? That's absurd. Bigfoot respects sacred borders. He if there's one thing Bigfoot doesn't do, it is cross the borders of mankind.
Hold on. Have we checked the nut harvest in West Virginia? That could explain that.
Trapper says, maybe they're looking for mates. And Huckleberry says, maybe they have mated. Real sexy. Real sexy.
He's got a whole lot of fan art that he could show you of this
I got
exact
some
thing
evidence
happening.
for this. I'd like to show it to you.
We haven't mentioned this yet, but Eric the Hunter said that the sound, it sounded almost like a mad badass mating call or something. That's how he described it before he played the Yahoo! So,
Which it also sounds like a guy shouting Yahoo.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds exactly like that, which is a mad badass mating call. I can vouch for that. So we've got like a Bonnie Bigfoot and Clyde's Watch situation. They think maybe it's not that, but it's a hybrid. It could be a hybrid. So it could be
a hybrid.
that they've already. I'm sorry, a hybrid. You're right. It could be that they've already fucked, and this is their offspring with the sound of both of them, because that's how that works.
Raccoon Choo Choo,
of course,
and Yahoo.
One thing is for sure, and we all know, like logically, with this new information, everybody can put together what we have to do. That's right, we have to go back and talk to the Moonshiners?
They were hiding something.
Yeah, Huckleberry insists they know something. They know Bigfoot's secrets, like maybe one of them fucked a Bigfoot, and that's what we're looking at here. No, there's no logical conclusion to, of course, we have to go back to the Moonshiners now that a secondary Bigfoot is involved.
To be
Only
fair,
the Shiners can know.
We'll learn this later. This is a bit of a spoiler just for this podcast. They are a secret society of wood ninjas. So if Bigfoots were fucking, they would have seen it.
Yes, they love to watch that. They are a secret. You're right. They use their woods ninjutsu to watch apes penetrate one another. That is exactly what we're looking at. So we're going to throw to Wild Bill and Willie's Crackhead Trap Shack real quick. Willie says, I'm going to make a minefield. Which, holy shit, yeah. Escalation of stakes. That's right. Yes. We're going to fucking blow him up. Fuck you. This is for Buck. Wild Bill loves it. He just starts making explosion sound effects like a child. No, it's just a bunch of foothold traps like he did in the cave creature episode. It's not a minefield. Yeah. They turn like an old car wheel into a thing to grab his feet. It's wildly disappointing.
It's like a caution severe tire damage trap in a coffee can for Bigfoots.
I've got to disagree with your description here. This is a thing. They're taking a wheel from a car. And then on the interior of it, they're going to have a hole in the ground. This thing's going to line the hole. On the interior, they have a row of downward-facing spikes that are spring-loaded.
Yeah.
So when you step in it, it traps your foot in there. When you try to pull your foot out, the spikes would rip the flesh, would deglove your foot.
Yeah, it's
this
pretty
is
brutal.
a trap that, like, the Viet Cong set. I've seen museums with this.
It's a disappointment in the terms of where he set our expectations, which is a minefield.
I'm saying this is, to some degree, more gruesome than that. If you picture a Sasquatch getting its leg stuck in there and then in a panic, trying to yank it out, and it strips the flesh off its leg, it is about the most horrible thing I can picture. And his plan is to make 30 of these and completely cover the countryside with them.
I'm picturing those jumping lines where like Bigfoot comes in and he steps on a platform and an explosive pops up 9 feet 6 inches into the air, and then Bigfoot
Yeah.
just has enough time to make that Willie face where Willie realized he got the gun, like, uh-oh. And then boom.
A bouncing Betty.
Yeah, bouncing Bigfoot.
A Bigfoot bouncing Betty. Oh, that's a fucking sweet title and everything.
So it is. I have to agree with Jason. It is a crime against humanity to lay this in the woods.
I'm just trying to describe it practically. Like, this is what it is, but it is a devastating Achilles tendon ankle.
I don't
ripping
think
thing.
it's quite what we did to Cambodia, but it's close. It's a second. It's a second here. So we're gonna meet our second witness. We go back to Moonshine Holler. Our second witness is the Shiner Society. The Shiners have laid their own tripwire traps because we are the big feet to these gentlemen. The outside world is the big feet to them.
Here's something that's new to the show is like, there's real stakes, there's real danger. The music is trying to communicate that. The music's like, ba-doom, ba-doom, and like they're being real fucking quiet and cautious. And this is not normally how they handle their hunts. Normally, of course, they're hunting cartoons that don't exist, but now they're like trying to communicate with us, the viewer, that like, we're being serious here. These guys might fucking kill him.
And this is after Huckleberry said the phrase, "We'll just have to get ourselves a big set of gonads." And go back to Moonshine Holler. So again, who said that the first time? Was that him or somebody else that said it in the first?
I think it was
half of the episode?
Trapper that says we're gonna have big gonads to go back in that house.
Yeah, he heard that and he liked the sound of that. Like, oh yeah.
Well, Huckleberry said, "I already have those gonads. Now it's getting out of there with them intact." But now he needs to get the gonads again. So I think Bigfoot did take his nuts somewhere in there. I think that's metaphorically, of course. I mean, maybe physically, metaphorically for sure. So they are accosted by that same gun-wielding moonshiner. He sees them and starts, threatening them. And Huckleberry puts on his, I'm gonna reason with the dog voice and goes out here and says, "Now, hold on. I know you run us the hell out of here the other night, and I respect you for that. So, I gotta respect any man that hates to see me. I'm bad news." Huckleberry just really lays it out for him about how their friend is hurt. They're here to get the Grassman. They're not gonna, "Sir, we're not gonna take your moonshine. We're not gonna call the cops. Please, please, please. It's only a Bigfoot hunt. You know, you can make a Bigfoot exception. There's always a Bigfoot clause." That's my favorite Tim Allen movie. The moonshiner reluctantly agrees to make a call, but it's up to them. Right. And if they don't want to talk to you, things are going to get bad.
He'll send it up to the Bigfoot Council. Right.
Yes, there's a moonshine ruling council, and these are some sort of elder shiners making this decision about whether or not to permit a Bigfoot hunt on their property.
Yeah. It does make the point that you can't trap a Bigfoot. He's like, "I don't think it's going to work, but I'll call him."
There's a couple of things to note here. One, the reason it's Huckleberry talking to them is the whole group goes up there and they basically send Huckleberry out as like the emissary, as if he's the smooth talker of the group. And I don't mean this in any negative way toward Huckleberry, but if you're ever in a situation where it's like, we'd better let Huckleberry do all the talking, you're probably
you're fucked.
in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Also, the moonshiners, they carefully don't show their faces. They're going to repeatedly conceal their faces. So they are presumably reusing the witnesses from the first half of the episode. Is this Legman or is this...
Oh, there's never more than one on screen at the same time. I think it's probably all Legman. It's just Legman running back and forth, doing different voices. The moonshiner makes his call. He calls the Moonshine Ruling Council. They do decide we're going to entertain this Bigfoot hunt. For it amuses us so. We've grown jaded over the many thousands of years moonshining. They send him to another moonshiner waiting in a nearby truck. He is the official Bigfoot ambassador of Moonshine County, Chief Moonshine. And Chief Moonshine tells them, well, first of all, it's a pack of Grassman, not one or two. And then Trapper tells them...
Hold on. They do an amazing choice here. The second they say that, it cuts back to the CGI Grassman, and they immediately update their graphic to be a full 5 Bigfoot squad of Grassmen.
Of identical Grassmen. They don't give them
the same exact graphic.
They don't have one of them with a hat or anything like that. That's just
multiplicities.
Yeah, they copy and pasted.
The editor's like, okay, I'll make that change for you, and back to the show.
So they're talking to, this is the smoking man. This is the smoking man of Bigfoot moonshiners. He's very mysterious. They don't show his face. He's talking to them from the half-closed window of a pickup truck, so you can't see him. And Trapper tells them about how they heard the Yahoo from their other witness here. And he just goes, oh yeah, 4 or 5 Yahoos around here. If that man is rolling with it, that's a master improv.
I think the listeners are confused. Are they saying there are several Grassmen and several Yahoos? Are they saying there are several hybrid Grassmen Yahoos? Are they saying there are several Grassmen led by a Yahoo? Those are all excellent questions, and they will never figure that out. And in fact, they will waver back and forth between talking as if there are 12 of these and as if there's only one of them throughout the episode, right up till the credits roll. Not to spoil anything, but they themselves will never quite in the improv land on how many of these things are there.
Because they have to focus on the true art, and that comes next. Trapper asks for some intel. Do you know what he eats? And Chief Moonshine says, corn. Trapper says, fermented corn or regular? And Chief Moonshine says, I don't really want to say it out loud, but yeah, fermented. There used to be a trade-off point where us moonshiners would drop off some mash for the Bigfeet, and there was peace, but now that's not enough for them. But Huckleberry says,
so hold on.
It's like they've got an addiction towards this mash. Holy shit, it's a gang of alcoholic Bigfeet.
Yep, that's what it is. So these murderous moonshiners have gotten a tribe of native warriors addicted to alcohol. It's a story of America. We get that. But I guess, what is the trade? Is it like a Bigfoot protection racket? Are they blackmailing the unlicensed microdistilleries to like, give us the corn or we'll tell the cops? Like, what is it? Are they a prostitution ring? Why are they trading them corn?
Because if anyone else was making this show, when he asked, do you know what it eats? The answer would be human flesh.
Yes.
He ate my cousin, Leroy. He ate, I don't know if you know a Leroy, but my cousin Leroy was out here hunting and he got eaten by the grass because before they would just eat our mash and they were harmless. Because they've gotten they're now so addicted to it, now they're going crazy. Instead, the phrasing is, these things come and get into our corn and mess up our moonshine distillery operation. So we just give them some corn. We've trained them. There's a spot where you can get it and it keeps them away from our corn. The threat is that they're now not satisfied with that corn, and now they're venturing out to steal our corn from our still. That's what's at stake, that they're going to eat our corn. At no point, even now, partway into episode 2 of this 2-part effectively finale, have these things menaced a person. Not even once.
Now, I want to clarify a little point. It's not a disagreement, but when we say corn, what they are very specifically saying is mash. It's the fermented corn. They are getting drunk. Like we have said, that's not us being silly. This is a gang of alcoholic Bigfeet.
It's not quite liquor. Corn mash, to be clear, it's wet corn. Some people might call it animal feed. You can make it yourself at home with corn and no second thing.
They very clearly imply that these Bigfeet have become addicted. Huckleberry says they've got an addiction towards this mash, and they very clearly imply these are drunken, rageful Bigfeet.
Trapper says the phrase, he's getting drunk as hell.
Yes.
Of the Grassman.
Very, very clear. I cannot be clear enough that this is a gang of drunken alcoholic Bigfeet. I just want us to all be on the same page. You can phrase it however you want.
So semi-fermented. It's not liquor yet. It's old wet corn.
Motherfucker, Huckleberry thought fucking blood sausage was a candy.
They're not experts on food processing for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't know. They don't know what shit is. They know that you get drunk off of moonshine and involves mash, so these Bigfeet are drunk as shit all the time. Within the fiction of the show, we have to accept that, and I think it's brilliant. It's wonderful.
There was, another fun thing they do here is they kind of establish some rules. So the shadowy, moonshine cabal owner is like, you can't just come and go. I'll give you some corn mash bait, which again, you could probably just get yourself, but you you have to come in and stay here. You have to camp out. You have to stay the night in this haunted house. You only get one shot at it. And so I just like that like we kind of have some rules.
I wrote down the exact same thing, that this is a haunted house deal. Like,
Right.
in a haunted house movie, it's to get the $1 million inheritance, you have to spend the night in this haunted mansion. Here it's to get my moonshine mash, you have to spend the night in Bigfoot Holler.
He's dangling the bag of old wet corn behind him. Not yet. Not until you agree to my terms.
Before they break it off, Trapper is going to say the phrase, "We really want to trap this thing," singular.
Yes.
So he switches in mid-sentence between an endless pack of these and "we want to trap it." And I, even now, cannot figure out if they're trying to say that there's one head Grassman that is like the main one and the rest are henchmen, or if they just don't.
I think that's the sense that I got, is that there is one Grassman and he is running a gang of yahoos who are like an inferior Bigfoot, and they defer to, as they put it, their king, the Grassman. He's the king of Big Feet.
But what do they picture happening if the main one gets its leg trapped in this leg destruction tube? What do they picture the rest of the henchmen, the gang, doing in response to that?
Then I think they realize Willie set the trap. Willie becomes King Bigfoot.
That does make sense.
Because to be clear, to call back to, just to reestablish the stakes, all 7 of Legman's granddaughters will be killed unless they completely clear out the Grassman problem in these woods. Bernie and Linda, it will break into their homes and murder both of them.
It'll just take their hand, but that's...
Patrick's wife will never have sex with him again.
That's right. It was Patrick's wife's ham.
Unless he can overcome the threat of the Grassman. She has moved in with her mother. Like, all of this is at stake unless all of these grass people... So it's really interesting to see how they tackle this challenge. And again, we know they're setting up redemption. They failed so horribly last time. The threat is literally 700% greater now. But they have to overcome this. They have to trap all of these things. It's going to be amazing to see how they do it.
Personal vengeance for their downed teammate. I mean, like, imagine how hilarious it would be if a show set all of this up. If, like, on an old season of MacGyver, it's like, oh, they got my henchman, they got my captain, they kill all my best friends. I'm gonna get revenge, and then he just falls into his own trap and is murdered, and like that's how MacGyver ends. Like, you would never see it. There's no reason to do it. It would be insane. So clearly, that's not what's gonna happen. We're gonna do, instead of going to the whole Trap Shack cycle, we're doing a camp setup. Remember, they have to stay here overnight now. So the boys are setting up a headquarters. Wild Bill lights a fire. Then he squats over the fire to warm his asshole, specifically. And then he wanders away with the pocket of his jeans on fire. Huckleberry goes and he slaps his ass out. He slaps Bill's ass a bunch of times. And then makes Bill scoot through the snow like a dog. These are our antics.
Was this arranged? Was this staged? Because the camera is like zooming in on his butt. He walks away, his butt's on fire. The camera zooms in on his butt being on fire while he's walking away talking, like he doesn't know it's on fire. Jeff does this big comedy timing thing where he walks up, it's like, "Hey, Wild Bill, I need to let you know something. Your butt's on fire," or something to that effect. Did they stage this?
I think Wild Bill just warms his asshole. I think he's got a cold asshole. I think that's probably a side effect of...
That does make sense. "Not for long," says Huckleberry.
And then he slaps his ass out.
You say it's a clumsy joke, but Huckleberry described the situation by saying, and I quote, "I pretty much had it beat out, but I convinced him to get down on the ground and do the old dog scoot." I mean, like, that's a loving couple of guys. Those are some friendly... they're good friends who fuck, is my point.
I don't think that was clumsy at all. I think that was beautiful and artful. I think told us everything we need to know about what these men do the very second they are removed from civilization. The very second. Like, as soon as they get the tents up, it's all just ass play. All ass play all the time. So they head out to find the Bigfoot Hooch drop-off point, where the Shiners trade Bigfeet alcohol for peace. They can't find it. A moonshiner is there. He gives them directions, and then he warns them, we're all watching you. We know where you're camped. So you're like, oh, shit. I see where this is going, right?
This fucked me up because that means that they saw these clowns show up, talk about Bigfoot. One of them put his ass in a fire and lit his ass on fire. Then he told the cameraman about how he lit his ass on fire. Like, he just watched these guys do exactly that. I just feel like that's really embarrassing.
Maybe he was just saying, we're watching you. Get your fucking shit together. I know you think this is like a private thing. People are watching. No, you think this is like set up, okay, they're going to have to fight the Moonshiners, they're going to have to fight the Bigfeet, like this is your classic enemies on all sides turn. So we'll see how that plays out. So this Hooch drop-off point is where they're going to set Willie's minefield of leg-destroying traps. Now the team all starts working on the trap together, which is a little strange, but I was excited because like this is the stage in an episode where we get Wild Bill wacky antics. Like he's gonna run around and like do the football drill through all of these little traps as they snap shut when he one by one. He's gonna stick his head in there. He's gonna put his butthole in there. It's gonna be great. No, there are so many people here that we don't even do a single antic. It's like trying to hit a guitar solo in a jam band. There's no room for him to shine. It's of all the format changes. I hope they don't.
You're right.
I miss my Bill antics.
This is just hard work. Just the passage of time and hard work.
They return to camp to get some sleep, and Huckleberry agrees to take the first guard shift. And then they all go to sleep. They leave Huckleberry out there. And then they all wake up frantic to tree knocks. They say, we got tree knocks! We got tree knocks! Wild Bill runs out of his tent, totally pantsless in his tighty whities, but in hat with headlamp, shirt, and boots, meaning that's how he sleeps. Exactly like that, just no pants.
Also, prior to this, the trapper stated that it was 20 below zero wind chill.
Yes, so they're all dead. They've all died just now. They hear Bigfoot moans out in the woods, which, as we've established, they are fucking. That they're interbreeding out there. That's the whole point of all of this. Jeff has him on thermal. He says the Grassman. He's just up there watching and jerking it real gentle. No, he's up there. He's up there watching them, so they jump in their golf carts. They know they have to scare him off. They can't just leave him there to finish. So they haul ass into their forest golf carts and chase him, and then they crash into a ravine because they're stupid and they're racing a golf cart in the woods at night. Wait, no, it's because Bigfoot threw a rock at him.
Now, I didn't see the rock. This is retconned, right?
Yeah, like they straight up just ran off the lane into and hit hit a tree. And pantsless Willie climbs out in order to try to right the wrecked golf cart, which tipped over. I'm sorry, Wild Bill. Starts doing what I can only describe as trying to hump it out of the ravine.
Yeah.
Yes, let's stop and paint this picture, because there's a beautiful scene. This is like one of those stills from a movie that you want to just stop and put on a wall.
It's like a Renaissance painting where everybody's caught in the middle
beautiful.
of
So this is all black and white. It's ostensibly night vision, but it gives us this really classy art film look. And there's this silly little forest golf cart with only its right front wheel in the ravine, so it's tilted at this real jaunty angle. Like if it was a hat, it would be saying like, I'm here to have fun. Wild Bill climbs out the elevated side, so not on the side that's in the ravine, but the high side. And he plants one leg on each side of the door, still in his tighty whities, combat boots, a hat with headlamp and camo shirt, and he begins to thrust. And with each thrust, the whole cart rocks wildly, not in the direction he wants,
No.
which is back down, but like it's going to tip all the way back over. And as each thrust is responded with some real gentle, whoa, from the guys still inside the cart. It's
not a physicist.
It's beautiful. It's an Ozark Titan. It may be how turbo teens are born. It's just hillbilly art house erotica. Watch that fucking scene. God, it's so good. I love this implication that this improv that they were driving along in their stupid golf cart at night and they drove into a ditch, and rather than be like, well, that was dumb, let's cut that, they were like, Bigfoot threw a rock at us.
Bigfoot threw a rock.
fully loaded with 1,600 pounds of man, he would have had to throw a fucking boulder. It would have destroyed that entire golf cart.
Yeah, they're all piled in there. To be clear, they've got every single surviving member of the team is in the golf cart. They do not fit in there at all.
They all get out, right? And like, they sort of, take the area. They're like, okay, we got to protect the golf cart while we get it reset. And then while they're doing that, something throws another log at it. Like someone's like, that's a good idea to throw shit at the golf cart. So a log hits it, but none of them turn around to look at it or where it came from.
I think that's because we weren't supposed to notice that it comes from the wrong side of the screen. So
Okay.
they're all looking and pretending that uphill, above them, all the big feet are up there and they can see them. And then somebody from the ground side, the left side of the screen, throws a branch on the golf cart. We just weren't supposed to notice that, I think.
Trapper does get hit by a log here.
Yeah, the one that they throw like a branch and it hits him in the
Yeah.
head and it knocks him down.
We know this side-by-side's immune to pterodactyl attack, though, so why aren't they in the side-by-side to protect themselves from these flying logs? Definitely immune to Bigfoot log if it's immune to pterodactyl swarm, right?
Hey, you know what? You know what he doesn't do when he gets hit by an actual log in the actual head? Go to the hospital and take the rest of the episode off.
He's 100% fine. They never mention it again.
Yeah, he just gets back up. He gets back up.
In the middle of the chaos, somebody, I actually don't know who, shouts, "We've got them all around, and there's their king." Guys, right there.
Yes.
That's the Elvis of Bigfeet up there.
And with cat-like reflexes, the cameraman keeps it pointed directly at the person talking.
It's Huckleberry, and yes. So finally, as they're about to be killed, they're totally helpless, but Willie has an idea. He thinks to fire one shot in the air and all the big feet run away.
Yeah, and that's it. It's over.
That was it. That was the first time they thought to try shooting their guns, and it's like having a magic power. Like, this is something that has been unlocked. Like, this is what we had all this time. Oh my god! These guns are incredible!
So now we know when a gunshot goes off, all the Bigfoots stop what they're doing and just run in random directions. It's something to keep in mind as we go through the show. Those are the rules.
With every single crew member having a loaded gun at all times. It is something to think about. As we go through this episode and the rest of the 9 seasons of this television show. Surely we've learned this lesson.
Now, here's the problem. They've established that the golf cart is wrecked. They can't. So they've got to get back to the camp. Remember, earlier Trapper established it is 20 below zero.
Yeah, they're all dead.
And one of them is not wearing pants.
And that's Wild Bill.
The mood here should be pretty dire. So what's the next thing somebody says?
Trapper says to Wild Bill, and I quote, "I don't know how well you're hung, but you got a fine ass." And Huckleberry responds with, "And his legs! Look at his legs!" It's just...
Sean did not make that up. Listeners, I know you think he did.
You didn't embellish
These
the
aren't
quotes.
gay
That's
jokes.
word for word.
This is just positive, gay, supportive men in the woods fucking together.
It's rather lovely, actually.
It's kind of nice. Yes. It's not what you'd expect. You meet these guys, you're like, I don't know about these guys. And they're like, no. We're country, but we fuck.
We're country, but we party.
Yeah.
We fucking party.
We're not Lady Gaga gay. We're Bigfoot hunting gay, but like we fuck. Let's be clear.
God damn. I mean, obviously, we've just encountered the quote of the show. The whole show.
Why? Don't even ask. At the end of the show, say what's the quote. Just don't even bother.
We're just going to all say it together. So let's check back in at the trap shack where Willie has finished putting his leg minefield together. The whole team rolls up in their now fixed for his golf cart. And they have the mash, the fermented alcoholic corn, whatever it's supposed to be within the fiction of the show. It's what it's what they're helplessly addicted to. It's not ethically sound what they're doing to these big feet.
Yeah.
And if only there was some sort of historic example to refer to this, but no, we'll have to learn from this moment in history and do better as a species going forward. But they're gonna lace that. That's what they're gonna do, is they're gonna lure them in with a drug that they have gotten them helplessly addicted to. Back at camp, the team calls Buck and he reveals, of course, like this would be the dramatic turn where you're like, oh my god, Buck's taking a turn. We're not sure if he's going to make it. No, he's fine. He loves it. He says he's high as shit. He's great.
This is the
Feels
best night of their lives, and they're just like calling Bucks, dude, you're missing it. This time we're camping. We're having sex. Like Bigfoot threw a rock at are side by side. You're missing the best night, Buck.
So Trapper reiterates to the team after they hang up with Buck, who again, they called and he said, just fine, doing just fine. Reiterates to the team, we're after the Grassman. We're only here for the Grassman. We're here for vengeance. All the other Bigfoot can leave. He's doing the Lord Humongous outside of Bigfoot Town. We do not want you yahoos.
Just
fine,
walk away.
Forest Apes. Just walk away.
Just walk away.
It will all be fine. Trapper pulls out the note that the Moonshiners gave him, and it says...
It's just so late in the script for a treasure map, is what I was going to say.
No, it's not, though. We've got so much that happens still. So Trapper pulls out a moonshine note, and he reads it, and it says, hear what you need, this what he come for. And Wild Bill has the audacity to laugh. Motherfucker, we read your note this episode.
They all start making fun of the grammar in this note, and it's fine.
Anyway, they say there's something back there at the North Point he does not want you to find. So Bigfoot has a secret treasure. There's a secret treasure of Bigfoot that they have to go find.
This made me so happy.
I can't believe we hit. There's a gang of drunk Bigfeet, and we're going to use their addiction against them, and we beat it in this episode. I can't believe it. There's Bigfoot treasure. We got to go find it. The Moonshiners also say that they are providing backup. But only in the terms of like recon. So they will shoot if they see the Grassman, but only to warn the other people, not at the Grassman.
Because again, if you shoot, the Bigfoot will stop what he's doing and just run in a random direction. So if you want to tell someone which direction the Bigfoot's going, you fire off a round.
And also, throughout their note, they refer to the singular Grassman. So do they have a different signal if one of the 7 other lesser Grassmen / Yahoos, they've not referred to it as a Yahoo since that meeting where they heard the recording. So, if there are multiple Grassmen doing their own pincer movement, is there a different gunshot signal that would explain that? No. We will fire a shot to signal that one of the Grassmen is on the move. Thank you. That is extremely helpful.
Keep moving.
He's moving. Well, not in the same... He's some direction now because of the gunshot, of course.
He is not stationary. That's what matters.
That's what matters.
Really what that means.
You air horn if he's holding still. You shoot a gun once he's moving. The point is the woods have Bigfoot sentries. There's a secret society of Yahoo paladins. They've stood against the tide of the Ohio Sasquatch. Lo, these many centuries. That's what we're discovering here.
Yes.
And
to top it all off, Wild Bill says, let's get this scumsucker, shave his backside.
Now we're just having good boy fun. We're having good boy fun
so
again.
Horny. These men are so horny.
We're going to shave Bigfoot's ass and slap it. So they all pile up in their Forest golf cart to find the Bigfoot treasure, the drunken Bigfoot treasure, up in Moonshine County. In Moonshine Ninja County, of course. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening in this episode in the best goddamn television show ever made.
Hold on. Before they take off, there's a moment I have to call out here. Because Trapper asks Willie, did you get the golf cart fixed that we crashed? Did you get the tire fixed? He's like, sure did. You want to take it? They're like, oh no. We'll just pile into this one. No. We all fit in this. Was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, thanks for telling me to do that while you guys all fucked. And I didn't. And I did not.
And you didn't have to leave this in the final edit. Just show us getting in the golf cart. This exchange didn't need to be there.
Make me look like a shithead. Thanks. So they pile up in the golf cart and they all like, oh, we're running the Bigfoot gauntlet, as they call it now, which rules. That fucking kicks ass. And you expect, okay, here we go. Like, they're just going to get barraged from all sides by the Bigfeets. No, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
But we do spend 5 minutes on it. Nothing happening.
And they cheer when they reach the end of the gauntlet that was just a trail.
That was entirely without incident. They do find another big barn back up there. This is the Bigfoot treasure barn. They split up with Wild Bill, Willie, and Trapper on one team, and Huckleberry and Jeff on the other. Trapper hears a clatter, and Jeff has him on thermal on the other side of the wall. Then Trapper falls over an old chair. I mean, Bigfoot grabs his leg. I'm sorry, it would be ridiculous if two men fell over a chair.
This is crazy, because Bigfoot like grabs his ankle, did a single leg through a wall, which is, and like these guys have not trained takedown defense. They're not prepared for wrestling, for striking, for throwing, for stealth, for rough terrain, for barns, for fire, for moonshiners, for inclines, monsters of any type, sudden noises, doors.
Hugh Grant.
These are just the things that defeated them this episode. And
Right.
and now that they have a Bigfoot who can grab you through a fucking wall, like it's over. They're run home.
So they run back outside because like they can't be in here. They can phase through fucking Kitty Priding through these goddamn walls. They run back outside and they pause to marvel at his tracks. He just grabbed you through the barn.
I'm so pissed off about you. He's like, look at all the footprints leading. We found it. Like, you great fucking job. One of you was grabbed by Bigfoot. You're in a Bigfoot fight. You're not reopening a Yahoo cold case. Nonsense.
So all the Bigfeets come here to this old still house. Again, this new barn is also a still house. They're making their Bigfoot hooch here with their Bigfoot mash that they earn from the Moonshine Ninjas. And inside they find Bigfoot's secret treasure, which is 2 Bigfeet nests.
And they are so astounded by this.
Yeah.
It's like, this was its secret. 2 piles of straw.
One
My
more
God.
pile of straw than we saw earlier.
I honestly was expecting 10. Like, they said there was a squad of 5, and then we find out that there's also 5 more Yahoos. And I was like, okay, so 10 nests, but it's just 2. I'm like, well, this isn't anything.
Where do the rest of them sleep?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to find a working still and that they had been starting their own rival brand to try to take back like entrepreneurial agency from the white man.
I'm sorry. I straight up thought they were going to find an amulet that hypnotizes them. I thought they were going to find a magic.
100%.
They said it was Bigfoot treasure, man. It can't be one more pile of straw than we saw. It's just... Anyway, there's a big bump. And Huckleberry, they're clearly like, uh-oh, Bigfoot's come back. And Huckleberry has the best reaction to this. He just goes, damn it, what do we do? Just immediate annoyed resignation.
They know what happens if they fire around all the Bigfoots leave, but they stand there and panic while it like disassembles the barn around them invisibly. And
take a drink for the best drinking game entry in the whole series. Somebody shouts, "Back to back, boys. We got to go back to back."
We got to go ass to ass.
All right.
So Willie finds some corn mash.
Oh, no, wait. Before that, there's one scene that maybe we skipped over. I want to talk about it. In the middle of this chaos, as the Bigfeet tear the barn apart from every side around them, we pan over Jeff, and Jeff has a little pistol. Only It's weird. It's really thick. Is that a fucking flare gun?
I think it's a flare gun. I paused on this.
I couldn't make out what it is, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's a prop. They wouldn't give Jeff a real gun. Fucking guys.
Now I'm saying it's a flare gun because that's so Jeff to bring the one weapon that would render his one ability, the thermal camera, completely useless. I can picture Jeff firing that flare and being like, "Oh, I got nothing on thermal."
I'm also imagining the Grassman getting his foot caught in the leg trap. It's shredding the flesh from its whole lower leg and screeching Yahoo. And then Jeff comes and hits him with the flare gun that just sets his fur on fire. The most horrific possible way to hunt an animal would be
this
illegal.
Is for Buck, the man who embarrasses me all the time.
And that's just redemption, as he just immolates this poor animal. This drunken, addicted animal, this strung out addict.
So Willie finds the corn mash, right? Like, but
the Bigfoot stash of corn mash.
Yes, but Wild Bill pronounced it like mice. And so they do like this quick who's on first routine of like, what mice? The mice. What are you talking? Like Bigfoot is tearing apart the fucking building they're in. And they're talking about this corn mash. And Willie is so giggly because he gets this brilliant idea to take the bucket of corn so that Bigfoot will have to go eat the bucket of corn by the trap. Now, I don't know how much these dumb sons of bitches think a 1,000-pound creature eats. What we can do is we could ask Shaquille O'Neal's personal chef what he makes in a day and then triple it. Now check. Is it more than a handful of old corn? Because if so, you're a stupid asshole, Willie.
Look, that's all correct, but I just want to point this out. They steal Bigfoot's liquor.
Yes. In front of it. It's right outside, watching them do it.
It's right there. I know that the way we're describing the scene makes no sense. There's no way we can make it make sense. They alternate between the Grassman is on the other side of this wall grabbing us to look, here's one of his footprints, to look, here's some of his mash. Let's steal his mash. That will. He's right there. He's right there.
With my shit.
What are you talking about? Because he literally says, like, he's laughing. He's like, yeah, we'll starve him out. We're going to take his mash. He'll have to go. The only remaining source is our minefield. It's like, he's like 5 feet away. It is bizarre. Everything about how it's framed is bizarre.
Like, I don't know why they think that Bigfoot's corn sense will scan the countryside for corn buckets and decide to take the one that's 4 miles away rather than the one being held right here in its own home by a bonus meal of helpless meat.
Yeah, in his lap, it's certainly not afraid of them. Yeah, or one of the many stills around there. There's so many places it could go.
It phased through a wall to grab Trapper.
It could just reach in and grab a handful.
Even if it's afraid of... Yeah,
take a
even
nibble.
If it's afraid of you, it can just reach in. It's kitty pride powers. You forgot you gave it kitty pride powers because you were embarrassed you tripped over a chair again. Anyway, they hear gunshots, so that means the Grassman is heading for their trap now that they've decided it. Like, it saw
on
this.
The move.
I want to reiterate, this second, as soon as Willie picked up the bucket, he's like, fuck, I gotta get to that trap right now. And he just whips ass towards that trap. They get in their golf cart. They drive it very slowly off the road as another branch hits their golf cart. Very slowly into a pile of sticks. It's completely destroyed.
Yeah, it's a real careful crash. Just shrieking the whole time.
Low speed.
We're crashing. Still crashing. Oh, no.
No. Specifically, this is a moment that no comedy I've ever watched has ever matched this. When they were driving down the lane, somebody screams, "This is for you, Buck," and then they immediately crash.
A small branch hits the car, they screech IE, and then drive 3 miles an hour into a shrub and go, well, that's destroyed.
That's it.
This is for you, Buck.
So the stakes have been raised to walking, and I'm not kidding about that, because they pile out and they decide Willie and Wild Bill are the only ones who can walk, so they have to go get the other golf cart to ferry Jeff and Trapper and Huckleberry.
Not an option.
The rest of them are going to stay there at the crashed golf cart and make those two run back to the camp, 20 below zero outside, again, still, and make them come pick them up. Instead of all of us, let's all go to the other golf carts. Like, no, you guys go get it and then bring it back and we'll chill here.
Staying to protect something in this golf cart. They're not like, we'll guard the mash or whatever. No, we don't want to walk. You go get the golf cart.
Yeah, new plan. Fuck you. Go get the golf cart. We'll pick us up.
They return to find the camp has been destroyed by Bigfeet. That's an inelegant way of putting it. As Wild Bill beautifully says, he had his way with us.
Just so there's no confusion, guys. Bigfoot had his way with us. What? Okay, yeah, I completely understand you, Wild Bill.
Yeah, I gotcha. Trapper stops to marvel at another Bigfoot print.
Yes, he killed your car. You're fighting him right now. Stop picking up his trail.
You stole his liquor. You have it.
You've seen literally hundreds of prints at the whole North Point treasure house. They commented that there were so many prints that it was like a highway. It was flattened snow. You've seen thousands of Bigfoot prints. They're all over the place.
It's so funny.
He's like an astronomer that never gets tired of looking at the stars. He's just endless enthusiasm.
In the intel debriefing, we're like, our camp has been destroyed. Like, God, shut up. We got even bigger news. We found a Bigfoot track.
So again, all right, Trapper remembers, wait, we said he was hauling for the trap. Let's go to the trap.
Right.
They forgot what they were doing.
They
split up. They haul ass again to check the Bigfoot minefield for drunken yahoos. God, what a great sentence. And he hits their car again.
Because whereas they have not adjusted their strategy at all, the Grassmen have figured, well, this keeps working.
Every fucking time I
Yeah.
hit him with one of these branches, watch this shit. Bill? Yahoo Bill, watch this shit. Look, I hit him and he just veers off and crashes into a tree. He didn't have to do that. It's fucking rad. He's just playing pinball. He's playing fat hillbilly pinball.
I'm so fascinated that they think they know he's going towards the trap. Like, they're sure they're headed there, because if there's one thing they know, it's they always know where Bigfoots are, unless it's grabbing them, throwing things at them, under them, behind something, following them, or standing right in front of them. But outside of those times, they know exactly where they are.
It's a very important detail. We completely forgot laughing at Bigfoot throwing something at their car again. It was one of their own traps, as if to specifically mock them, like, you brought this week's shit into my house. Here's what I think of it.
And shattered the windshield of the golf cart. That's how they used some of their budget for this episode. I don't know if they did that on purpose or...
He threw their own bullshit trap at them. It's just... And that's all the fight they have out of him. Like, he throws the trap at them, they hear another gunshot because the Bigfoot is on the move again, and they've been so thoroughly psychologically humiliated, just beaten to death, that they decide, well, we have to leave.
Yeah.
We have to leave. No consolation prize, no goalposts move, no excuses. They got their own trap rolled at him, and they're like, this fucking, he wins. Remember, Buck's in the hospital, fuck him. Fuck Buck. We're getting the fuck out of here. So I am specifically leaving him unavenged. Buck, we did not get revenge for you.
Sorry, Buck.
Leg man's 7 granddaughters, dead.
Dead.
Bernie and
Patrick's
Linda,
love
dead.
life,
Patrick's
his ham, eaten.
His wife's
his ham eaten. His
it.
dick, well, as dry as the desert.
Drier than even the forgotten ham.
The fragile ninja moonshine piece has been broken. All of this because you have failed completely. Jeff says, we're coming back with a secret weapon. Buck! And with Buck, we're all gonna kick the Grassman's ass. Jesus fucking Christ, Jeff.
Jeff.
You've been so completely domed that your only strategy is to, like, present yourself?
He's doing
Is
a
that what it's
promo
come
for his
to?
bully. Yeah, what the fuck?
Good God.
Plus,
That's...
Buck was the first person it took out. Buck falls down every 5 minutes. He's a clumsy beach ball with small, crude, usable hands. His only skills are sounding like a turkey and hurting Jeff's feelings, and now they're like, oh, he's the secret weapon. They'll never get a better chance than what they had. They got him trapped in both of their traps.
You had Buck earlier.
Yes.
It went even worse than this.
You replaced him with a team of secret woods ninjas and still couldn't take out the Bigfoot.
Buck lost a battle to a folding chair sitting alone.
And then Trapper did too.
But even
what
better
a failure.
is knowing that some of the viewers heard him say that and you think, oh wow, there's a part 3 to this. No, that's the end of the season.
No, this is just utter, complete failure on a level we have never seen, even for our boys, even for our precious fail boys. This is failure in a new dimension. Absolutely no excuses, no spin, just copping to total defeat and running away with their teammates, specifically unavenged. However, there is one upside. They did steal Bigfoot's liquor. They're going to get fucked up on footshine.
But also, Trapper, in his attempt to save face, as he says, we've never had so much evidence on a creature as we have on the Grassman.
Yeah.
As if that was their mission. And no, you had the actual Hogzilla.
Oh, yeah. We forgot about the Hogzilla.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Right.
got
That's
that
right.
farm pig.
We said we caught one.
They discovered a lost tribe of Ohio ninja. That's kind of something.
Yeah, anthropologists would love to hear that. This uncontacted Shine tribe. What an escalation on every front. I can't believe it. I can't believe they lost again, setting themselves up for it. It's beautiful.
They escalated the failure.
They
Like,
escalated
that's
the
the
failure
thing.
beyond reason. More than any other thing they escalated.
They were given 500% of the budget of a normal episode, and they sat down like, okay, we're going to do 5 times the humiliation We're not going to
The
crash the
first and
golf
only
cart
thought.
once. We're not going to fall down just a couple of times. It's going to happen over and over. They're going to throw our own trap at us.
Right, they did that instead of saying, let's get one really good Halloween costume. You know what? Let's go and see if the Harry and the Henderson suit is on auction for like $300. Let's get it, and let's just put Bigfoot in a van and then film him through a blurry window and be like, we fucking got Bigfoot, you guys. No, they had to spend it all specifically on humiliation. Like this
One of them's
has to be
going
a fetish.
It's
one
a
of them's going to piss himself. Another's going to run around pantsless and be forced to hump the golf cart back onto the road. It's
We'll lose several men to chairs. Just, my God, what a grand episode. I have to ask what our favorite quote here is. Everybody at the same time.
I don't know how well you're hung,
but you got a fine
ass.
ass.
I do have a bonus quote. You can end the episode on that if you want, but I do have one that I would like to present as an honorable mention. When they find the Bigfoot treasure palace, and Trapper finds that there are 2 Bigfoot nests in there, he calls in Willie and screams, "Son of a bitch, 2 huge nests right in here!" And Willie comes in, looks around and says, deadpan, "Are they empty?"
Because you have to be a Bigfoot teacher, you have to open up your mouth. You have to be a Bigfoot teacher. All your friends are so knocked out. You have to have the last word last night. You know what everything's about. You have to have the white hot spotlight. You have to be a Bigfoot